Okay, so basically I had no idea what my video was gonna be or how it was gonna start, and then this presented itself to me today. It's like 90 degrees outside, has been, I don't know, it's 90-ish for like maybe 3 days here in a row. And so the tomato plants have gotten a little droopy. These are two separates here. They didn't snap from what I can tell, but that is definitely my sign to go ahead and get some twine, and we are gonna use the little loops in the metal plant markers to hopefully give some support to these to keep them upright. Yeah, I looked down low on the stems. I don't think anything snapped when it tipped. I think they just get a little wilty when they're in that direct sun in the afternoon. So I rotated these ones in. We'll tie them up, hopefully give them some more support. And that should be good. Otherwise, everything's looking really good. There's like blossoms on everything. The lettuces are getting nice and big. No real head, well I guess heads are maybe just barely starting to form, but nothing, you know, substantial yet. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the twine and make a little, I think I'll do like an iced chai type thing. I bought like a chai concentrate thing the other day, so I'll try that out. I've been waiting to try it. It's doing really good though. I definitely could have and should have done it sooner, but as long as nothing snaps, I'm okay with it. Snap peas are doing really good too. Got a couple here that are probably really yummy right now. Cucumbers, still deciding if they want to do anything. This tomato is somehow hanging on just to this little bit of dirt. It's got blossoms on it. I do need to uppot it though, otherwise it's gonna die. There's no way. Like, there's not enough in here for it to really have substantial roots. The green beans, they haven't really produced much more. I don't know if they stop once it just gets hot, but I haven't had anything from them in maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. And my bell peppers actually just started putting on some more size. They've been like really small and runty, like compared to everything else this entire time. So I'm glad to see that they're actually growing a little finally. But yeah, let's go ahead and deal with this whole situation. Okay, so we are back outside. My main concerns are going to be all the tomatoes. This is the chamomile here, and it, let me give you more like a side profile so you can see. It also is definitely like trailing out, but it doesn't put on like heavy weighted like fruit, so I'm not really worried about it snapping or anything. Good? Beetle? Okay. Just smacked into the wall really loud. But yeah, so my main concern is going to be these tomatoes. And this chai is really yummy, by the way. Set it up here so it doesn't melt in the sun. Right now you're in the AC unit. Glamorous. It might be beneficial if I can go like all the way up, all 3 rungs instead of just to the next one. So I'll start with more than I need. And we'll see how it goes. And I'm probably gonna have to do like both sides, just so it actually can catch the branches and hold it up. Okay, untangle the chamomile. Okay, so there's one done. Let me show you what I did. Not done, but like half of the first one. So, let's see, get you in there. Down here, I went ahead and just double knotted it on the loop, right in front of that branch. That guy out. Ran it through here, no real need to tie it, in front of this branch, and then up behind here to the lettuce. I might try... I don't know, let me do the other side and then we'll get finicky with it and see if we need to. About the same length. That worked really well for this guy. I'm gonna do the land race that's kind of right behind it, just because it's blocking a lot of this one, so I'll just do both of them and then I'll show you what we're working with. Okay, let me go ahead and show you. It's a little janky looking, but as far as health of the plants go, it's an improvement. So, the Supernova here, the single stalk, you can see I did the two from the base like we said, went up to either side, and then rejoined them at the top. So he comes up here to right under this lettuce. I'm gonna actually try to let him go through the lettuce and provide some shade to them at the top here, which would be just another lesson for me in the future is, even though the lettuce isn't bushy, like that was the reason I put it at the top, it also wilts a lot more in the sun, so it might do better in the mid-ground, or in the middle tier with something providing more shade up top. But just a learning lesson there. And then this land race, which is just up and over from the Supernova, it's like super duper straggly. So it's kind of hard to figure out what to do with it. And I might still finagle with it a bit. But what I did for this one is I tied one up straight over this way because everything was kind of draping out to the side. And then its bend was a lot higher up, so it was still kind of drooping a lot. And so I tied one way off to the side here, went up, didn't tie it here, but just ran it through. And then I'm running it straight across all the way through here to this side. So this is where a lot of them kind of meet up. But just as kind of like a straight across support. This one hasn't tipped yet. He's been out in the sun while we were filming this. I'm gonna go ahead and tie him up right now anyway. I'll set you guys up to watch, but my camera is telling me that it might overheat soon. So if you die, that's all I'm doing. Supernovas. I did this one the exact same way I did the other one, where I just did 2 from the bottom, split them in the middle, and then had them rejoin at the top, and just kind of put it over the branches that I think it might tip on. But yeah, and then there is one more landrace tomato that needs some love. Well, it's looking fine right now, actually. It hasn't tipped at all, but it's kind of like tangled in here with the chamomile, and I just want to tie it up before it decides to tip on me. There are some sirens going off and on in the background. We'll try to ignore them. But the rest of the tomatoes is all strung up. This landrace was a lot less unruly than the other one, so I was able to do just the double split like I did with the Supernovas. Tied it up, and then like it kind of runs into the chamomile over here, so like I'm propping some of the chamomile on that string. But like I said, I'm not too worried about the chamomile. Like, it just looks crazy, but it's not actually gonna hinder its growth or anything. And then yeah, these are the other ones. The other big ones tied up over here. Before it was like, so that's good. I guess since I have you here, I'll give you just a mini update. I've been kind of disappointed with the strawberries so far. I think we had our first strawberry in the last video, and it was a little janky and like, I don't know, not really like plump. It was very like seedy and not like full. I don't really know how to describe it, but you know. This one is kind of growing in the same way. It could turn out fine. It's also stayed small for a really long time, so I don't really know what's up with it. And like this guy, like they're coming in just kind of less than perfect strawberries. And the first one didn't taste that great, so I'm gonna hope these ones just do better, and maybe I'll leave them on the vine a couple days longer and see if that does anything for me. The nasturtium leaves are just so cute. They look like big old lily pads. But yeah, so strawberries they're growing. Like the plant is doing good. It's just the fruit is not as good as I want it to be. The chamomile is doing great. I've got a few flowers that I've harvested inside drying. I could probably pick some more this afternoon, actually. Because these look good. The miner's lettuce, I need to look up again when to harvest it. These leaves do get a lot bigger too, just as the plant gets more mature. But they are looking good. I keep hearing sirens. I'm honestly worried there might be a brush fire because it's really windy, and like I said, it's been 90 for a few days. And the wind mixed with that is no bueno. Let's see, all the marigolds are looking really nice. Let's see, the alyssum is doing good. This one's had a lot of the petals knocked off, I think just from the tomato rubbing up on it. The petals do fall off of them really easily, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. These tomatoes, I want it to go up over the lettuce, not right in the middle of it. I might prune these up here because there's just so much happening. These tomatoes, my goodness. Convenience-wise, I will say that the Supernova grows a lot nicer in the Greenstalk. It's just like very manicured, easy to like maintain and take care of, whereas the landrace is a lot more jungly and sprawly and crazy, which if it was in like a big raised bed won't be an issue. Like I would just let it tip over, get bushy, and go crazy. But in the Greenstalk, where things are already kind of so close together, that isn't exactly ideal. But you know, before I decide what I want to grow in the future, I obviously want to taste the fruit, assuming we get some or any. So we'll wait before I make any major calls. Yeah, Alyssa was doing great. And I'm pretty disappointed with the cucumbers too. I think it might just be the lack of pollinators, honestly, because I don't really have any cucumbers that are cucumbering. So I'm not sure if we'll get any of those this year. Carrot update. Can't see any out of the side of the jar, which is still a little sad. But this guy, you can see right there, just kind of actually looks like it is becoming a carrot a little bit, so that's cool. They're still just chugging away. The nasturtium in the face pot is doing great too. That was the only one that has put off the bloom for me so far. This was the first bloom kind of shriveling up and drying out now. And then this is the second one here. And they're so funny. They get this weird, like, it almost just looks like a horn that like grows off the back end of them, because the stem is down here. But then there's this extra like horn bit that sticks off the backside. It's super weird. Like, I've never seen another flower that really does that. But the blooms are very pretty. So I'm happy nonetheless. Thanks for tagging along with that little project. If this is the end of the video, then thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick little short one of how to like train up tomato plants in a Greenstalk. If there are more clips, then I will see you in just a second. It's still going. Okay. Pardon the construction sounds. So basically, this is just turning into like a tomato video, and we'll do our best to ignore that sound in the background, and hopefully you can still hear me. But I noticed this morning, I came out to rotate my Greenstalk, because I basically start every morning with rotating it like 180 degrees so that, you know, the next side can have its light for the day. But I noticed this guy. So this is one of the Supernovas that we like tacked up with these. But it's got our first little tomato. Get these strings out of the way. Look at him. It's so cute and tiny. Now, I don't know how long it takes to go from this to an actual tomato. I'm not even confident on what size these tomatoes get to full grown. I think they're fairly small. Maybe just like slightly bigger than a cherry tomato, but yeah. Look at him in there, he's so cute. And then yeah, he's the first one on this little branch, so I imagine these ones will all follow suit shortly, which would be very exciting. Get like our first little cluster going. But he's just so cute, and he looks like he's wearing a little hat. Let's see. See, and then he popped out, so now I want to take a look at everyone else. Let's see if there's any other tomatoes. This is the crazy land race, as you can see. And it's like, we tied it up so it's got some support, but it still has just like, and it's healthy. It didn't like snap or anything up here. It's just a lot more of a wild plant. And then it has this one straight stalk that goes all the way up into my lettuce, which is fine. I just want it to actually be over it rather than like in the leaves. Did I just break this? A little bit, that's fine. Okay, but yeah, so it's got this really tall stalk that comes up over the top of the stalk. I think its blooms are a little behind. They haven't even opened yet, but it's got this cute little cluster and then a few more up at the top here. which is very nice. Those blooms aren't even open, so I don't think we'll have them anytime soon. And then our other land rice right here. Down the bottom one here. It's kind of tangled in with the chamomile, but it has some blossoms. They look a little better than the other ones, just simply because they haven't like fallen off. Hopefully they don't. Because I would love to have some of both of the tomatoes and kind of be able to compare the two and stuff throughout the season. But I mean, if we only get one kind, then that is what it is. And I know this has been all tomatoes so far, but since I have you here, we'll check in on the sad kind of strawberries. So this guy, he was all growing in with like 3 weird little points. And like he's turning red now, but obviously he's not like a fruit that you want to eat. So I'll set him back here kind of in the soil. Let's see what he does. Our other one that's coming along and actually growing is this guy. He hasn't changed color at all yet, he's still just green. But at least he's looking a little more like a strawberry as far as shape goes. And then yeah, we've got all these other blooms that will hopefully do something. I don't know, these strawberries have been very mid so far. And the lettuces are looking really good, the Greenstalk lettuces. So this is or is this a single? Oh, this is a single. And you can tell like they're kind of starting to tighten up in the center, so I think it's starting to actually come ahead. And I researched it the other night, and you can actually harvest the loose leaves. It's kind of like a cut and come again type, you know, lettuce harvest. So I might do that if I find myself needing some lettuce soon. And then I've got 2 in here through the tomato. So they're a little on the smaller side, but if I'm mostly harvesting the loose leaves, then that should be fine. He's so cute. I'm so excited. Hopefully the tomatoes turn out a little better than the strawberries. And the marigolds are all doing really well too. These are all like new blooms that they didn't have like the buds for on when I even bought them at this point, so they're doing well. This is the Supernova that needs to be potted. It's got some blooms up here too, so like it's doing good. It just definitely needs more love than what it's getting right now. This is a cucumber plant. The only one that's still blossoming this much at all. And it's definitely got the most like fruit starts on it. So yeah, let's see. There's at least these 2 blossoms that are open. Let's see if they are male or female. These both look like females to me. Also, if you know, you see that tiny guy crawling around in the center? Oh, he's on the petal now, right there. If you know what these are, they've been just all over my cucumber plants specifically, like on the blossoms. If you know what those are, please tell me, because I don't want them to be like hindering the cucumber plants, but also none of my cucumbers are really growing. My other cucumber plants had a lot more of these on them. Yeah, they're just like so slender and like really dark brown, I guess. And they just kind of, they move like little worms, but like they're not a worm, I don't think. I don't know. They're interesting. And I haven't noticed anything that looks like eggs or anything weird. I just keep seeing them. So, who knows? And yeah, they've only been on the cucumber plants that I've noticed, so that's strange. The bell peppers are actually putting on some size now. They're definitely like later to the game, but I think peppers just kind of roll that way because they can handle the more intense heat of the summer. So them being a little slower is completely fine. I'm just happy they're doing anything. This guy, how's that sound? he's doing good. He's looking kind of funny right now, but hopefully that means he's gonna try to spread out soon or something cool. But yeah, that is the little Greenstalk update and the beans and peas. I knew they were gonna probably phase out first, so that's totally fine. That was expected. This is also like a learning curve for me, but that's what I had kind of gathered would happen just based off what I heard from other people online. So yeah, everything's good in that regard. It's a beautiful day. Oh, let me take you inside. This is a normal, or a different place than we normally like set up to chat over in the kitchen. But I just don't want to deal with setting the camera up over there. It's always a little, I have to move stuff around. But we're at my desk right now. What was I going to tell you guys? Oh, me and my husband officially at the end of July are going to South Carolina for a little trip. My in-laws, his parents, live down there, and it's like his grandma's 80th birthday. And so we're all going down there. It's like a little mini family reunion type thing to celebrate her birthday. But that's just very exciting because I live in Washington State, complete opposite coast, like up north, and so I'm very excited to see all of the different plants and everything down there. His mom, his family, like they garden, but it's like not garden, they garden, but it's just like ornamental, like landscaping type stuff. They're very into like yard work and landscaping, just a little differently than what I do. Sorry, I'm getting cozy. But yeah, so that's exciting. And basically that's gonna be the last week of August. We're gonna be gone, so I might miss a video the week after that, or before, or something, or during. I'll let you know when that all gets closer. But then, as soon as we get back and we start August, me and my husband's lease at this apartment is up August 31st, the end of the month. And so as soon as we get back from South Carolina, we are going straight into like moving mode while he continues to work. And then once we get back to our hometown where we're moving to, then I'm gonna start looking for work. I just figured there wasn't a point in me doing it here since we're leaving in 2 months and I do Rover and stuff. So I was like, I'll just keep doing Rover here, and then once we move, we'll both, you know, redo the whole work situation. But yeah, so we're both starting to look for work down there. But yeah, he does firefighting and he's kind of exhausted the options up here, and so basically we just figured he'd have more opportunity and more connections and stuff down there. Also, like, both of our sisters have kids and they both live there, and we just want to be around family more and stuff. I know we're only 26, but like as we're getting a little older, I've kind of always known this in my heart, but he's kind of coming to realize that like, oh, I want to be around family more, and so, you know, that's kind of playing a role in all of this as well. If he gets a firefighting job full-time somewhere else, then, you know, we'll move again. It is what it is. Because basically we're moving to our hometown, and yeah, then whenever our job stuff kind of starts to even out a little more, we will get our own place, and hopefully that'll be like the last rental that we live in until we buy something eventually. That's like years in the future, obviously, but it'll be nice to like move into a rental that we're planning on staying in for a long time. Like that sounds really nice to me. So there's that little update with the living situation and the little vacation thing coming up. Sorry, I just showered, so my hair is kind of just doing what it wants. My coffee this morning, I did brown sugar and vanilla extract and some cinnamon and then oat milk. It's very yummy. Let's see. All the houseplants are doing really good. Nothing new there. But yeah, that's kind of all I have. Thank you so much for watching. This kind of just turned into like a tomato and mini life update video. But yeah, I'm excited to start looking for work again. I don't know, this is kind of like personal, I don't even know if you care. Because I tried the whole army thing last year. I was like in the army for 5 weeks, and then I got like medically booted. And I got home in October of 24. And I've just been doing Rover and reevaluating my life ever since. I would love to not have like a corporate job and just be able to homestead, but we are young adults trying to get our footing still and start. So when we move, I will be looking for work again. But yeah, it's like not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Basically, I'm looking forward to having more money and like paying off credit card and, you know, stuff like that that isn't fun, but we'll make the best of it. And like my houseplants are all pretty easy to care for. The Greenstalk, I water it, like I top water it, I think maybe every 4 days. And then in between that, if I notice anything's thirsty, I'll pocket water as needed, because that's really simple too. So like it's really low maintenance. Yeah, I think plant-wise and garden-wise, everything is really easy maintenance-wise. And so having a job won't really hinder that too much. I might be too tired to film sometimes. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself or put any like bad juju out there before it's even a problem. Or a reality. So, yeah. But that's all the cinnamon at the bottom. But that is all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching if you're here. I also still want recommendations on like natural mosquito repellent things just on the body. I don't really care about like the area, like the whole porch or anything, but just if there's any natural sprays that actually work, or like those bracelets that are scented, if those actually work, recommend them, let me know. I'd be very interested in that still. But yeah, I hope you have a great day. I hope you're enjoying videos. If there's anything you want to see, feel free to let me know. I know videos have just kind of been like garden updates lately. Sorry, I know I was talking like it was the end and now I'm ranting at you again. But yeah, everything's just kind of been like planty garden updates. I hope that's fine. That's what I like to talk about. And then also, like, we're moving soon, so I don't really want to start too many new projects or things. There's definitely going to be like a potting video in the future, because I've got all those pothos cuttings and they've got some pretty chunky roots on them now, so we will get those back into some soil soon. And the only other project I'm considering doing while still here, which probably isn't a good idea, but like a worm bin for like a little worm compost thing. I forget what it's called. Vermiculture? Is that the right word? Vermiculture? Yeah, I don't know. That might be the right word. But basically setting up like a worm bin or like a bucket tiered system, and then you add your compost, like your food scraps and stuff to it, with like brown paper and some dirt and sand, gritty stuff, and worms. And then, you know, they process everything and you end up with essentially free worm castings. And that's what I've been using for fertilizer anyways. So might make a worm bin, might wait till after we move. But starting it in like September sounds weird, because then you're just kind of going into fall and winter where I won't even have a garden. I don't know. It's too much. There's too much right now. But I'm very excited for our South Carolina trip, because I haven't been on like a fun trip in a long time. Like, me and my husband, we got married an hour drive from where we live now, and our honeymoon was in like a cute little lake town, because like we're young, we're poor, and so it was fun. It was great. I love it, and I love that town. We just went there this last weekend actually, and it was very fun. It was much needed. Just to have a little break, because we don't do things like that a lot. And my husband, his work schedule's crazy, and yeah, so it was very nice. But I'm excited to take like a real big trip and go spend time with family and just be far away from home. My brother's gonna take care of the dog Daisy, who's right down here, and my garden, so we will hope that he doesn't kill them, kill, not the dog, he's taken care of the dog before, but the plants will be interesting. I'm thinking I'll do a really big top water right before we go, and then I will just tell him how to, or to pocket water everything while we're gone. I don't know if I want him to have to mess around with like the Greenstalk lid and the thing and the bucket and, you know, my whole system out there. So I might just have him like pocket water maybe 2 or 3 times depending on what the weather's looking like, because it's going to be the last week of July. It's going to be hot here. Probably up around 100 every day. And it's a dry 100, which I know people are split on humid heat versus dry heat, but I think gardens typically prefer humid heat. Dry heat really cooks stuff here and it gets crispy. So maybe we can do like a before and after video of my brother, who does not do plants at all, taking care of the garden. That might be funny. But yeah, okay, I will shut up. I'll go. I'll let you get on with your day. Thank you so much for watching. Trellising up the tomatoes was great. I should have done it a little earlier, but I did it in time. They're doing great. I'm really happy we have our first baby tomato. I'm going to be watching that thing like a hawk every single morning. I will keep you guys updated on it. That is all I have. I love you. Thank you so much for being here, especially if you watched all the way to the end. You're insane. I'm going to go now. Goodbye. I love you.